Yes, welcome to yet another episode on the Ivan Show and on IT Media, empowering truth, inspiring change. Ever since 11th of April 2024, when the unfortunate part of my health, the unknown people attacked me, I think I have not had a very good opportunity to interact with people in security forces. But here with me now, I bring you one of the prominent and most loved police officers who for some good time has helped to create a gap between the citizens and the police. And importantly, majority of you know him as an Arsenal fan. And he's a retired former Assistant Inspector General of Police, Afande Asan Kasingye. Yes, Afande, welcome to the show and thanks for allowing me to speak to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Afande. I see you are a very good, I can say maybe now, I can't call you an influencer, but a socialist on X. Then I can see you have just posted 20 minutes ago. But Afande, importantly, I want to first appreciate your social life and how you connect with people, with civilians, which I think is the ideal way how police officers should be, and even show that forces is not a profession that is intended to scare away people. Yeah. But Afande, mainly we are going to talk about the book you have just written, and I think you are one person who does not regret why COVID came, because it gave you an opportunity to do something you didn't expect to do maybe before. So you give us the preamble of how you had an idea to write a book, chosen, and many other things.
Thank you once again, and I greet you all, our viewers. Yes, you're right that police, as a profession, they don't work alone. They cannot work in isolation. Police is, if I may, it's a community engagement, because the main task of the police is to prevent crime. And there is no way you can prevent crime without indulgence and working hand in hand with all stakeholders, all citizens in the country. Because you see, prevention means that the people that are affected should be involved in activities or should know what they must do in order to prevent themselves from crime. Now, one of the things that you must do is to engage them. So community policing is an engagement. Community policing is a partnership. Community policing is, working together in order to make sure that you remove every opportunity that can lead to crime. So, so you are very, very right. And I wanted to be part and parcel of those efforts within the police to make sure that we reduce the escalation of crime in the country. And I think I did that.
Really, with no doubt, there is no one who can doubt that.
Yeah, so I did that. Now, what motivated me to writing Chosen? Number one is that I had an experience of 33 years working within the police. And I thought that it would be Kuriazamanya, especially young people.
Yes.
Some of them who looked up to me, some of them who in one way or the other I mentored, some of them who I motivate, and some of them who would wish to be like me.
And definitely, many of them would not have an opportunity to interact with you physically.
That's true. Yes. That is true. So I said I needed to write an autobiography of myself, and then give it out. Let people read, and that's why that book, much as it is a little bit voluminous, but at 50K, it's worth. Now, that is number one. But number two is that sometimes the kind of things that we do can be distorted. You leave the stage and people tend to speak with authority about someone else. I've been to spaces where people don't expect me, and for some reason I've heard with my own ears and seen with my eyes, people talk about me when I am around, and they didn't know I was around. So sometimes you hear things that are not true, and I thought that I need to put in ink, black and white, so that it's my story. If anyone wants to change it, then it is on him. It's not because there is lack of information. That is number two. But number three, I wanted someone in the police to read the story and say, I want to take over from here. Young officers to say, oh, this has been done or was done or there was a mistake here. What is my role? I was there for 33 years, but I can assure you, I have never, ever picked a book. There is a lady called Banjarana who had written something, okay, about her life, and I really want to applaud Pauline Banjarana for that book that you wrote. I was lucky to have read the book before it was even published.
Oh,
Yeah, it was brought to me by her son.
proofread.
Then I read, and then I said, oh, this is very, very nice. Apart from that, there is no single police officer that has written a book, has written about his work or her work. There is nowhere you can go in the library, in a police library or any other library, and you pick experiences of police officers, and yet they did good job. Our immediate colleagues who were in the CID, who were in the special branch, who were in air wing, who were in the band, who were in this, what is it that we have left behind for young officers to come and appreciate what each and everyone has done? And then they also chart out a way of doing better. Okay?
Doing better, yeah.
Yes. So that was the reason. You can see my being on social media for some time, and I know internally what people are talking about me. He has no work. I think he's not serious. Why is he on social media? Why should a police officer be on social media? Why should a civil servant, for that sake, be on social media? But when I look back, because I joined 2015, and I see many police officers who are coming out and explaining what they do, they also indulge, they also, want members of the public to join them in whatever they do. I feel so happy. So I wrote that book so that people can see what I did, and then they can improve upon.
Yes, Afande, briefly, you give us for someone who has not gotten a chance to access your book, what he should expect in the preamble, main body, and probably in the main conclusion, so that they have a picture of what they are going to find in your book.
They are going to find a humble young man born in the rural area, like most of us, raised by very, very, very humble parents, a small, businessman, a trader or shopkeeper, if you may, and a peasant mother who went through schools, normal schools like any other school, most children, most young people in the villages, they go through those schools. Yeah, you finish P7 without shoes in your. I don't know what but for you, you are so young, so you put on shoes. For us, we finished primary 7 without putting on shoes, and be able to go to Makerere University, at that time the only university, join the police and be able to do all that, So it is a story, a packed story of the life of this young man who braved every other impediment that most young people do, and then be able to be who you are, not because of your family, not because of whether you are the most brilliant, not because of, no. that each one of us can have an opportunity and can work hard to be able to achieve what you've been achieved. And then sharing those experiences about family, sharing experiences about small businesses that we are doing, sharing experiences of what is it that you have learned and what is it that you are giving back to society. That's what people should expect.
Afande, did you answer this question? Because I've tried to interact with many people, and given the status quo in Uganda, I know you are an honest man. You see how the aspect of Gambanogu, the aspect of someone pushing to get a job, not because of because he qualifies, but because he knows Afande Asan. So therefore, because of his influence, he gets a job. Did you answer that question that you were pushed by someone at a certain point, or it was out of your capability and it was on merit that you achieved what you achieved because you qualified and worked for it?
Actually, Chosen emphasizes the fact that it doesn't matter your background. What matters is your work ethic. What matters is your discipline. What matters is your being honest. What matters is that you're willing to work without even corruption, without even anything. That whatever you do, people watch, people see you, people comment, and people are able to say yes. And in most cases, it would be the people. Actually, the Gambanogu are the people out there who you know, who you don't know. They will write that you are doing well, that you are doing a good job, that you helped me here, that you discharged your job here. We saw you in a bus trying to educate people about road safety. We saw you at a school doing this. We saw you in a very high volatile situation, wherever you worked, whether in Tareja, whether in Apache, whether in Burisa, whether in all these places, we saw you discharge this. Why can't they give you a rank? Why can't you, people themselves will do that. So if you read the book, you will realize that I abhor people who don't want to work. They sit, they are average, they sit. I'm sorry I'm going to say this. They sit, I'm talking about the institution I know, which is the police. And the time comes when other people are being chosen for promotion, they begin to move from office to office, saying all sorts of tribes of accusations against senior officers. They don't like us because we are this. They don't, this man does not like me because of this and this and this. Work. You're not going to be promoted every time an opportunity comes by going and tainting other people bad, and then you are the one who is good. And if you have not been promoted, then the whole world should shake. I think those people shouldn't waste other people's time. What is important is your work ethic. Do you do the work that has been given to you? Okay? Do you report? Do you brief? Okay? And there are many opportunities. People do courses. Okay? I understand if a course was available and it is not being given to you for some reason that is best known, for reasons that you know, for reasons that you don't know. You can complain about that. But if all of us are given the same opportunities, we are given the same courses that we are doing and whatever, so what should be the problem? In short, Ivan, I don't remember, and I can tell you, I've never gone to any office. During our time, you wake up in the morning and someone is saying, Afande, congratulations. For what? You mean you don't know? Know what? You've been promoted to commissioner. Are you sure? Yes, you've been promoted. There are 7 of you who have been promoted that very morning. But I can tell you now, people know when the message has come to choose people who are going to be promoted. They know the meeting that took place, what you said in that meeting. This is at the police station level. They know whether your name has been there or whether the name has not been there. They follow it up at the region, whether the name has again been approved. They follow it at the police headquarters. They follow it at every stage, even up to police authority. If even higher areas, they will have some people to make sure that the name remains. So,
And how do you, because now you see the process is being infiltrated by these people, and probably maybe someone who would be promoted on merit, probably they may follow up, and for some reasons, because they are now monitoring the process from the stage 1 up to that stage. Do you think there is kahukume that has entered that need to be put right?
First of all, I don't want to say that this issue is about people who are pushing, but there are also other impediments on the way, to be fair to you. Okay? I'll give an example. I've been sitting in, I used to sit in meetings, high-level meetings of promotions. Okay? And then you find, let me give an example of a certain rank, you find you need to promote, there is a need to promote a number of people from assistant superintendent to the rank of superintendent. And public service normally gives a quota depending on the availability of the jobs, availability of the positions, if I can say that, the positions. For example, they will say, this year, we have a gap of 60 superintendents, which means if you are promoting assistant superintendent to superintendent, you need 60 people. That's what public service, that's what the government needs at that position. And that's the money, the budget that they have to pay for.
Yeah.
Now, when you check, you find that you have 600. I repeat,
Yes.
you have 600 police officers at the rank of assistant superintendent of police. 600. You want how many?
60.
And they are how many?
600.
And some of them, most of them, were same intake. There is an intake that had 500 ASPs. One intake with 500 of them that graduated. We call it pass out. Okay? Now, tell me, what magic do you use to select 60 out of
500 or 600?
out of 600? What magic do you use?
I think you go on how they have been performing.
Exactly,
before.
exactly. But after that, then you are going to hear all sorts of things against those who sat there. Even if you were the one who sat there, what would you have done?
Definitely, I think.
I think that the most important thing is to have regular. Don't wait for 2 years, because after 2 years, then you get a huge problem. Everybody's complaining.
Yeah.
But if it is regular, then somebody says, I have missed, but I know next time I will be there.
I will be there.
I will be there. So yes, so these are the challenges. These are the challenges that you get. So it can't be that the problem is theirs about those who do. No, there are other impediments, and they can be sorted out through proper leadership.
Yeah, Afande, before we leave the aspect of your book, Chosen, what strong recommendations, because during your time in policing, crime was not very high like it is now. And even the behavior of police was somehow more sophisticated than it is today. We have had very many people complain about police. There is a crime, there is here, they report, and they get a late feedback, or they totally get no feedback. Why? Maybe they have been given something by the other party, and they end up failing to get the right feedback. What recommendations did you include in your book to the young officers who are still serving the country?
But it's not true that that time crime was low. Yes, crime is becoming sophisticated every now and again, because with the advent of the internet, social media, you can, for example, go on the internet and learn how to assemble a bomb. Okay? So the opportunities now available for people to commit crime, there are many. And yet the answers against those opportunities are fewer in space and time. By the time you learn how people are doing it and you go to fix it, the following day the internet is providing another alternative. So crime becomes so sophisticated and moves so quickly in time. So you need people who are smart. You need now people who are smart. You don't need people who are going to use those methods, you know. You even don't need to be so many in an area in order to, you need to be smart. You need to use, so I would first of all like to put that one in context, that we were not there because crime was low. No, 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 no. However, crime now is especially street crime. People mugging others, people hitting you, and others are looking on as if nothing had happened. I want to believe that if something happened like that, a young boy comes and he kicks you, flying kick, they would arrest him and they would even do something against him.
Discipline him.
Meanwhile, yeah, because we have had street children, but those street children were made. I did a study on street children in 1994. They would just take, you know, fuel, they would inhale all these kind of things, then they get energy to lift things, put them here, get some little money, get some, yeah, occasionally maybe snatch your bag, but it wasn't this violent. They would snatch your bag and run away and enter into the water channels. But now they hit you and they don't need to go to under the water channels.
They hit you and
they just continue moving. They know the cameras are looking at them, but they don't mind about the cameras. That is the kind of situation that we have. Now, I think, because your question is specifically on the conduct of police officers, what is it that, not what the government should put in place, but what is it? I think police officers, they need to be, as I said, they need to be serious with their work. You were given a job to do, and you are at CPS, you wake up in the morning, you go to your office, go on your phone. I'm not saying this is what they do, I'm just giving an example. I'm giving an example. And the lunch, evening by 5, join your car and you move. 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, you have never even moved to town to walk that street. You have never moved to town to talk to the traders and other people who are always there. Can you tell us what happens here? Who does this and this and this? You've never. You've never gone to talk to the LCs in the different cells that are in that place. You've never even had a joint meeting with other agencies to see what to do. So, number one, wake up. You have a job to do. You're being paid for a job to be done. Okay? Move out. Look, I mean what I'm saying. Nobody told me, nobody woke up in the morning and told me, go to this radio and do this. Nobody ever told me, now go to Tororo, there was this and this and this. I would read something on social media, I would go. I would pack my bags, put them in my car, and I go. And I called the Inspector General of Police when I'm on the ground. When I went to Masaka, this last Vijambia, we had gone to bury our former DIG, the late Lieutenant General Paul Lokech. And on the way, I told my driver, change course. We are now going to Masaka. We are going to the Tranchion. That's where we are going. The bag I had, some other things, I bought them on the way, and we used the Gomba, and I started from Sembabure. I ended up in Chotera. 1 week I was coming back. And people do realize during that time, I was always on TV, I was always on social media, I was always, you know, mobilizing communities. I was telling them that this is going to end. I was telling them, so I was offering a backup to the people who were operating, because I saw that this was lacking. Because for something like 2 weeks, they were talking about this problem. And I thought it was going to be sorted out as quickly as possible. But every day, they say so many people have died. Another day, so many people have died. The politicians around were making it worse. They were saying the police are not interested in this. How come we are in COVID lockdown? There was some lockdown of COVID, I think that was like the third,
Yes.
like the third stage. And then they were saying they are not interested. They are the ones who are hitting people. How come that people are not supposed to move, but it is the police officers who move? So who kills when others are not supposed to move? I said this kind of toxicity within from some politician is going to cause a huge problem. So someone who's doing that now has an opportunity to keep on doing it, and they apportion the blame to some other people. I went. Who told me? It's my duty to be able to do that. So that is number one. People must know I am paid for a job. I came to do a job, and your ideological orientation must be right. You must be patriotic. You must be able. You must be a person who serves the citizens. That is something that gives you energy every morning to be able to go and work. Then the other one, I think we need, again in the spirit of patriotism and nationalism, we need to do our work without being influenced. If every time you want to go and do some work, you must be paid, or somebody must pay you, or somebody must influence you to be able to do something, then you're in the wrong job. You are not going to finish this crime that is out there. Because if you are going to deploy people, you can imagine, I'm in the community now, I know some of these things. I know some of these things.
Yes.
If you have a function that is going to be done within the public arena, and then there must be, protection, there must be, and police officers are going to be given to you, then they expect you to pay them.
Yes, facilitate them.
Then,
now
so,
they call it facilitation.
Yeah, so what's your job then? What's your job?
So, Afande,
So the other issue again is about not to expect the public to pay you in order to work. The other things in the book that I talk about, I talk about issues of discipline, I talk about honesty, I talk about accountability, I talk about hard work. I talk about, these are the things that probably can be used, or somebody can see that you need in order to be able to discharge that work.
Before you retired, did you see any possible Asan Kasingye that would perform perfectly better or would fit in your shoes once given very good orientation and mentorship?
Oh, you mean after I had left?
Yes.
When
you were still there, did you mentor someone that you think that would really fit in your shoes in your absence? Because by natural factors, you reach a certain age and you retire and leave the public service and leave other people to serve.
Oh, I mentored many. I mentored many. I can give you a list of the people that I even started telling them what community policing is. I will tell you, there is a senior officer, senior commissioner of police called Kamia. You go and have a chat with him, and he tells you the kind of mentorship. There are many. There are many. I can tell you there are very, very many. Recently, I was on a UBC program behind the headlines.
Yeah.
And there I was seated discussing with an officer from the police, is a senior superintendent called Donald Muhwezi.
I saw that program.
Donald Muhwezi, I'm the one who picked him. I said, I want him in community policing. This is how it happened. I was traveling to the village for Christmas with my family, and I was driving. Now, reaching a place called it's on after, it was the DPC of Rwengo. Then as before you reach Azanga, there is a town. Before you go to those corners, there is a small town I've forgotten, Chetume.
Chetume.
Now, at Chetume, I find so many people, and a police officer is talking to them in the town. As you branch off a little bit, so I went and parked and stood and listened. He was not seeing me. He hadn't seen me. So he was talking to the people, and after listening about 30 minutes, I went to him because the family wanted to move, and I thanked him. I said, thank you so much. He was transferred to Isingiro, and from Isingiro he went for a course, senior command and staff course at Webaja. And when we were seated in the meeting for deployment of those officers, I told the chairman, who was the Deputy Inspector General of Police, then was Major General Sabit Mzee, and I said, sir, I would like you to give me this officer. And he said, why? I said, no, give him to me. I saw what he was doing, and I think he's the future of what we need in as far as community policing is concerned. And he was given to me. He was put in community policing. Now, when I sit and watch what he's doing, I see, I really am so happy with what happened. So mentorship has been done to so many people, you know, and I'm glad. But I can't sorry say this was my own, because when you mentor, you have to mentor someone who is ready to be mentored.
Yes, true. So, Afande, we have talked about chosen, and really whoever is there and thinks that he wants to interact with Afande Asan Kasingye, I think you can now think about buying a book. As we try to wind up the show and the discussion, given this high crime that is happening in Kampala, I myself am a victim. I was attacked, and ugly scenarios happened. How best can we, because the city, people are becoming very worried every day. Every day they are becoming, personally now, when it clocks 6, I think about going home. Why crime is increasing? Now even in broad daylight, thieves can come and work on you. So how best can we streamline this, police being the head of law and order in the society?
Yeah, I said, I went to my social media, to my X account, and I wrote that I trust the police because I know that the leadership is up to the task to make sure that this is history. And I can tell you, even now as we speak, the situation is not like it was three weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. A lot of things have been happening. And I'm proud that, first of all, I've never doubted the intelligence arm of the police. Okay? AIGP Serunjo Jidamurira Christopher is doing a very good job in as far as intelligence is concerned. And so the problem now is not going to be lack of intelligence.
Yes.
No. Even investigations, AIGP Tom Magambo has revolutionized CID. I don't know how I can even thank this officer. I'm serious.
So the public should hope for the
I'm
change.
telling you, I'm mentioning these because these are the key areas that must be at play in order to solve this problem. Crime intelligence, investigations of all those that are doing that, okay? Making sure that we use the technology that we have. We have CCTV. If it is not working very well, we must fix where the problem is. There are even other people who have this. We must know them. We must link because they also want security. So you can't say, I want security for my own house, because if you put a camera here, there is a house there, this is my office, so we share. Each of us can share. Then I also talked about, from where we started from the zeal of the officers themselves. Be seen, okay? Visibility, be visible, do some patrols, but led by the intelligence, okay? So this should be intelligence-led operations. You don't need to be everywhere. You need only to know that the problem is here, and we need to prepare this way. And then community policing. to be able to rally the public, the people, the communities behind you, and to know what exactly they need to be able to solve the crime. So I can assure you, they will sort out this.
We just trust the process.
They will sort out this, but we also need to be very, very careful. When you're talking about national security, national security is dependent mostly on personal security. Okay? I'm sorry for what happened to you. But people need to know, because for you, you trusted, you say, no, it is safe. Nobody should blame you. It is safe. I can go anytime I want. I can drive my car with the glasses down. I can do what? But people must have that sense and say, what if somebody comes and takes away this camera? What if somebody comes, I'm walking around and something happens? So we must always be told on how to be careful when we are alone. And some people, I have heard some people say, when the police do that, then they are kind of scaring the public. If you go to UK or New York, you will read this. You will see police officers telling you, do not do this, do not go to this area, do not walk alone. If you are a visitor, please be careful about this and this and this. It's about what people can do personally to remain safe and secure. So we need a lot of community policing. You know?
Thank you so much, Afande, for a wonderful discussion. And to you viewers, I think we must have now hope and believe, because really we have believed in Afande Asan Kasingye for the work he has done, and still, much as he's retired, I think he offers advice and help as a senior retired officer. Very lastly, did you inform people that you are an Arsenal fan in your book?
Yes, I did. I informed them. I actually even told them that I wasn't even an Arsenal fan when I was taken to Highbury to watch a match in 1995, and the rest is history.
Thank you so much. And we sympathize with you that last season, really, with the good football you played.
No, don't sympathize with me. Everything that we do in life, you cannot start always from there. You cannot always be there. What is important? Are you doing a good job? And are you progressing?
And consistency.
Asan is progressing. I hope the president hasn't heard about me. He doesn't want to talk about European. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, viewers. And to you who need to engage with this discussion, don't forget to like, subscribe on YouTube channel and even on social media platforms. And I hope also Afande will share on his platforms. We shall be enabled to tap in this conversation. I am Ivan Tukundane, and this is The Ivan Show.